What's good, YouTube? Today I want to talk about a story that I saw on Hip Hop DX where Tinashe says that she wants to get rid of genres, and she says that it segregates music based on race. Guys, check out our back catalog here at Rap Philosophy. Please hit that like button for some more hip hop reaction and hip hop news. So Tinashe talks about getting rid of genres, right? That music is being segregated. Let's get into some of what she said. She said, quote unquote, "I'm going to go as far as to say we need to abolish genres in general." She declared, "I think that the way that many of them came to be and have continued to progress is very much so based on race and the segregation of music based on race." Then she says, I'll comment on this. She says she continued by putting artists either in an urban category or an R&B category or rap category, a hip hop, these really general umbrellas that we use to define different genres. It creates a huge sense of isolation for the creative when they're trying to experiment, especially for creatives that don't necessarily feel like they fall into one of the genres, which was my experience. My first comment is that about this is that I don't think it's fair to say that people are segregated based on hip hop, based on music genres, because I feel like music genres is a thing, right? I don't think it was created, right, for black and white or some kind of segregation in that sense. I mean, music has genres, right? Hip hop, R&B, blues, country, pop, whatever you want to call it. Do those segregate? Yes, they classify, and categorize music as there's anything that gets categorized in a way. So I think that that's something that's common and normal. I do see one point, which is if you put only artists of a certain color or culture in a particular genre, then that becomes a way that segregates and marginalizes certain people, because now they aren't classified in these other genres. The other argument could be well, if so let's say an African American artist is considered hip hop or is considered R&B, then that's what they are. You know what I'm saying? So should they be nominated in something that is pop? But the other side of this coin is that it gets a little tricky, right? Because what happens is that when do these award shows consider black artists in pop? You don't see it a lot. Right, like a Taylor Swift, right, will get nominated under pop, but a Tinashe is probably well, I want to be nominated under pop. I want to be nominated alongside Taylor Swift. Why do I gotta be put in R&B? Right, Taylor Swift gets to be in this whole other category, but I have to be in this smaller category of R&B. And I think that's a valid argument, because what makes Taylor Swift not country or not R&B or not whatever, right? Taylor Swift is versatile. She could do different things. Just like a Tinashe might drop an R&B song, might drop a pop song, might drop whatever. And if you look their categories up on Spotify, you will see that artists like Tinashe, LMI, they're under dance, pop, R&B, pop, some pop, but you'll see Taylor Swift labeled as just pop, right? But all these artists now are kind of the genres are getting meshed together. There's a fusion. So at what point do you stop excluding people like Tinashe in the main category of pop? I think that's where it gets dangerous, because then it's people have crossed over. You will see Drake, right, who has crossed over. But then you have all these other artists. It's kind of they keep them in these subgenres until they get really big, and then they cross over into this big. Now, is that a racial thing? I don't know. That's something for you guys to decide. Is that something that's a racial thing, or is it just the way it is, where if you're a smaller artist, you're not as known yet, then you're generally known under these categories, right? But once you get really, really big, then you cross over into this kind of broad, universal pop category. So my question is that just because it's the growth of an artist and that's the trajectory of an artist and how they lead into award shows, or is it a racial thing where they're putting black artists under these subgenres and mostly white artists in main pop categories, and then make it really difficult, for black artists to kind of get into these, main pop, categories. Tell me what you guys think about that in the comments below. Is Tinashe, are you on her, what do you think? Is Tinashe on point with this, or is she kind of babbling a little bit and just doesn't want to put in more work? But guys, those are my thoughts on this. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Hit that like button for some more hip hop and news reaction.